Let's slow everything down for a moment. Just breathe. Not the shallow kind you do when you're anxious, but the kind that tells your body, I'm still here. Because right now, in this very moment, there's a battle taking place. And it's not on the outside. It's not your job, not in your family, not in your bank account. The battle is in your mind. And most people, they never talk about it. They never admit that some mornings, the war begins before your feet even touch the floor. They never say how exhausting it is to wake up and fight the same thoughts you went to sleep with. That silent struggle, that invisible storm, that's where the real war is happening. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're human. But somewhere along the way, someone convinced you that silence was strength, that holding it in was noble, that pretending to be okay was courageous. And because of that, you started losing battles, quietly. Behind the smiles, behind the I'm fine, behind the scrolling, the numbing, the distractions. But here's what I came to tell you. You don't have to keep living like that. You don't have to keep faking it just to function. Because the battlefield isn't meant to be avoided. It's meant to be won. And you, yes, you, were built to win. Every day, thousands of thoughts try to take root in your mind. Some whisper comfort. Others scream destruction. Some tell you you're powerful. Others convince you you're a fraud. And if you're not careful, if you don't become the gatekeeper of your own mind, those thoughts will build a reality you never chose. You'll start believing stories that were never true. You'll walk with chains that aren't even real. Because the most dangerous prison is the one you can't see. The one built with your own thoughts. Let me tell you something I wish someone had told me when I was younger. Your mind is not a storage unit for pain. It's not a landfill for every insult, every mistake, every memory that haunts you. It's not a junk drawer where all the what-ifs and I should have known betters live rent-free. Your mind is sacred ground. It's a garden, and what you allow to grow there will shape everything. Your identity, your peace, your decisions, your future. Every thought is either a seed or a weed. And you don't need a degree in psychology to start planting what matters. You just need to care enough to start tending to your mind like it's holy, because it is. Negative thoughts don't knock politely. They slip in through the back door. They whisper when you're tired. They hide behind familiar pain. And the problem is, if you've been living with them long enough, they start to sound like you. That voice that says, I'll never get out of this. I ruin everything. Why even try? That's not you. That's programming. That's repetition. That's pain you never processed. And the only way to break that cycle is to stop agreeing with it. Stop rehearsing defeat. Stop watering thoughts that keep you stuck. Some of you listening right now are not lazy. You're just exhausted from fighting thoughts that no one else sees. You're not unmotivated. You're just tired of showing up to a war zone every time you're alone. You're not failing, you're carrying. And I see you. You don't have to comment. You don't have to explain. But if this is speaking to you, I want you to know I'm here. And if you want to speak it out loud, leave a comment. I promise, I'll read it, and I will do my best to help you through it. Because this is not just about motivation, this is about freedom. You don't win this war by pretending you don't hear the voices. You win by confronting them, by replacing lies with truth, by declaring life in the face of death. You don't wait until you feel ready. You declare it when everything inside you says, give up. That's what power looks like. That's what healing looks like. That's how strong minds are built. Not in comfort, but in chaos. And maybe you didn't choose the storm you're in, but you sure as hell get to choose how you come out of it. You don't need perfect conditions to grow. In fact, most of your growth will happen in dark places, quiet places, places where nobody sees you. You'll start to shift when you stop needing validation and start focusing on discipline, when you stop asking for permission and start planting truth. Because your words, they're not just sounds, they are blueprints. They carry weight, they carry direction, they carry creation. And every time you say something, out loud or silently, your mind begins to adjust to match it. That's why you must guard your mouth like you guard your future, because your mouth is a sword, and you either fight for your future or you stab your own spirit with your speech. Speak power, speak peace, speak identity, speak strength. Even if your voice shakes, even if your heart's not sure yet, even if your body is tired. Because your mind, it listens to your mouth. And repetition rewires your reality. Let me pause right here and say this. If anything I've said so far has felt personal to you, if it's touched something real inside you, don't stay silent. Don't go back to pretending. Leave a comment, let me know. Comment I rise if this speaks to you. I don't just want views, I want to help. If you're fighting silently, you're not alone anymore. I'm with you. This space is for healing, not hiding. Now hear this, discipline is more powerful than motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline shows up, even when it's hard. Even when no one claps, even when nothing looks different yet. That's where real transformation happens. Not in the big dramatic moments, but in the quiet decisions you make when no one's watching. When you say, today, I'm going to speak about life, even if I don't feel it. When you say, I'm not going to agree with that lie again. When you say, I'm worth protecting, even from my own thoughts. Growth is slow. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It unfolds in layers, and sometimes it hurts. But the pain of discipline will never match the weight of regret. You're not here to live small. You're not here to live on autopilot. You're not here to live someone else's script. You are here to build something different. Something real. Something rooted. Something powerful. And it all starts in the mind. So listen, the birds will keep flying. The fear will keep knocking. The thoughts will keep coming. But you get to decide what stays. You are the gatekeeper. You are the builder. You are the one with the pen in your hand. And fear doesn't get to write your story anymore. Let's get brutally honest. There will be days where your mind feels like a war zone and your heart feels like a ghost town. Days where you sit in your car, your room, your silence, and wonder if you'll ever truly feel whole again. The thoughts come faster than you can filter them. The shame sits heavier than your chest can carry. The inner voice isn't just loud, it's cruel. It tells you you're too far gone, that no one would understand, that healing is for other people, not you. But listen to me. That voice, it's lying. You're not too far gone. You're not broken beyond repair. You're not hopeless. You're hurting. And there's a difference. See, broken glass cuts, but broken soil grows. You're not shattered. You're being repurposed. And the more pressure you've endured, the more power you hold. You just haven't seen it fully yet, but it's there, under the surface, buried under the lies you've been carrying like gospel, buried under the pain you never felt safe enough to process. It's time to dig it up, time to reach in and reclaim what fear buried, time to remember that just because it's hard doesn't mean it's over. Just because it's dark doesn't mean it's done. Sometimes the night gets darkest, not because you're losing, but because you're about to wake up. And when you do, when you rise, it won't be perfect, it won't be clean, but it will be powerful. Because you won't be rising as who you were, you'll be rising as who you decided to become. That's the moment it all changes. Not when life gets easier. Not when people start clapping, but when you decide that your past doesn't get to be your prison. When you stop letting fear write your future. When you say, "This story is mine now," that's not just healing, that's resurrection. And the same power that raised you once will raise you again. That strength you forgot you had, it's still there. That fire that dimmed but never died, it's waiting for your permission to blaze again. You're not just learning how to think differently, you're learning how to live differently. You're rewriting patterns, breaking cycles, shifting generations, and it all starts here, with this moment, with this decision, with this voice inside of you that dares to believe there's more than this pain, more than this fear, more than this silence. So, rise, not perfectly, but fully. Speak, not flawlessly, but truthfully. Stand, not because you feel strong, but because you're tired of falling. Let your voice rise, even if it trembles. Say, "This is not where my story ends." Say it again, louder. Say it with your scars. Say it with your tears. Say it like your soul's been waiting to breathe. And if you're still here, still listening, still breathing through this, that means you're one of the rare ones, one of the strong ones, one of the chosen few who didn't click away when it got deep. That says something about your spirit. You're not average. You're not fragile. You're not stuck. You're awakening. And awakenings don't feel gentle. They feel like fire. You are the fire. You are the light that darkness couldn't snuff out. You are the living proof that storms don't get the last word. So, when fear tries to whisper again, let it. Then speak louder. Speak from your soul. Speak from your scars. Speak from your survival. Because your voice has weight now. It's been through too much to stay silent. It's been refined in the fire. And fire doesn't apologize for burning down what wasn't meant to stay. Let your words burn. Let them rebuild. Let them become the sword that cuts down every thought that tells you you can't. Because from this day forward, your mind is no longer a battlefield. It's a temple. It's a fortress. And fear doesn't get access. This isn't fear's playground. It's your house now. And the doors, they're locked in truth.